Good evening, hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video, folks. Today we are predicting the Championship Week 7 predictions for this weekend, of course. And of course, the Swiss Darts Daft Trophy, the 2025, the race for the World Grand Prix really heats up. We saw Christopher Ratajski whitewash Owen Bates 6-0, and Neil Zonneveld got a 6-3 win. So big night tonight, this evening, including Raymond van Barneveld and William O'Connor, of course, chasing for their World Grand Prix places. So Andrew Gilding lost to McCall Decker, and that was a blow, isn't it? Right. Anyway, let's start with this evening, the football fixtures. So first up, the first couple of Midlands derbies in the EFL this weekend sees an intriguing clash as the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion, now taking on Leicester City. Following the surprise appointment of Ryan Mason over the summer for what was his first managerial role, West Bromwich Albion did start this campaign responsibly well. However, the Baggies do now, coming into this one, of back-to-back losses against Derby County and then Middlesbrough since the international break. But Leicester City have perhaps surprised many, enjoying some reasonable results at the start of this season under manager, former Queen Park Rangers boss Martin Cifuentes. However, their performance level has been underwhelming, and the Foxes coming into this one on the back of a goalless draw with Coventry City last weekend. Leicester will head into the Hawthorns, sneaking to set about West Brom's possession based on approach with aggressive pressing intensity, and should disrupt Albion and make Leicester favourites for this one, slight favourites. I'm going West Brom 1, Leicester 2. Don't forget, before we get into the YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button. Let's smash 50 subscribers and let's smash 100,000 likes. Right, let's go to let's go to Coventry versus Birmingham. We have another key Midlands derby taking place at the Coventry Building Associate Arena this weekend, as Birmingham City will make a short trip to Coventry. Coventry remain unbeaten after 6 matches so far this season, but 4 draws have been undermined. The Sky Blues push for a top 2 and promotion spots. Frank Lampard's side have struggled for goals outside, scoring 5-3 and a 5-3 win against Derby County and a 7-1 defeat of Queen Park Rangers. Birmingham City have also lacked consistency, fluency in the final third, requiring late goals to snatch victories this season. What has been a steady return to the second tier, but Lyndon Dykes scored a second half stoppage time winner in their most recent outing as they defeated Swansea City by a 0 at St Andrews last weekend. So these are the two sides that have a lot of attacking talent and potential, but they have also sides that perhaps being little conscious on the ball, and it should therefore be a low scoring affair. But I'm backing the Sky Blues to win 1-0. Right, let's go to Swansea City versus Millwall. Aiming to avoid back-to-back defeats in the Championship, Swansea City welcome to Millwall at the Swansea.com stadium on Saturday. The Swans were defeated in a late soccer punch at the Birmingham City last time out, where the Lions picked up 3 points at the expense of Watford. So Swansea City's 7-game unbeaten streak across all competitions came to a grinding second half. Second City last Saturday afternoon, where they lost to Birmingham, and Millwall, who were sitting 11th. Right, after A heartbreaking defeat at Birmingham City last weekend. Swansea will be desperate to make amends in front of their home faithful on Saturday. Millwall will have to dig deep to earn maximum points at the expense of Watford, meaning that the Lions may not be so energetic in South Wales. But I think Millwall will get something here. I'm going for Swansea 1, Millwall 2. Right, let's go to Right. Phil Parkinson's was coming under immense pressure as Wrexham but back-to-back victories have eased concerns as they now welcome Derby County to North Wales. Wrexham coming into this one of a 2-0 defeat of Reading at the Racecourse Ground in midweek in the third round, courtesy of a brace scored by attacker Nathan Broadhead. The Red Dragons were backing up an entertaining 3-2 defeat of Norwich City at the Carrow Road as they try and push towards the top half of the Championship table. They face a Derby County side that thought they have turned things around with a 1-0 win over West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns after a September international break, but the Rams returned to a disappointing result at the weekend as they suffered a 1-0 loss at home to Preston North End last weekend. Derby's performance level has been frustrating, but that is John Inston's way. But Phil Parkinson's teams are hardly most fluent in attack, so this could be quite a tedious watch for the neutrals despite Wrexham's high-scoring antics thus far. And I'm going for Wrexham to win 2-0 to keep their momentum going. Charlton versus Blackburn. Charlton Athletic will play Blackburn Rovers on Saturday, looking for that win that will likely to move them into the top half of the Championship table. Meanwhile, Blackburn make a trip to the Valley, sitting in 18th position, all belted with a game in hand, as they wait to discover outcome in last weekend's abandoned game with Ipswich Town. With Charlton on a high after beating Sheffield United and Blackburn motivated to build on the frustrations last weekend, we can see this fixture being highly competitive when taken into consideration and their respective poor good tells. A low-scoring draw feels like a close-to-see outcome, but I'm backing Charlton by 2-1. Right, Ipswich versus Portsmouth. Ipswich Town will be looking to claim back-to-back home wins when they welcome Portsmouth to Port Vale on Saturday's Championship encounter. Meanwhile, Portsmouth will be open to produce another strong away showing, having avoided defeat in their opening 3 road trips this season. But Portsmouth lost to Sheffield Wednesday last Saturday, and Ipswich were 1-0 down, but due to a waterlogged pitch with involved ruling in that game, we'll have to replay in a full at a later date. So, Portsmouth have avoided defeat in each of their last 3 away matches this term. They haven't been relatively strong defensively, but we think they will do enough to hold the Tractor Boys to a point on Saturday. But I think Ipswich will be too strong and win 3-1. Right. Oxford United versus Sheffield United. Still in search for their first points of the Championship season, Sheffield United will travel to Castham Stadium on Saturday to take on Oxford United. Chris Wilder's return to the visitors last weekend ended in Blade's 6th straight league defeat to the start of the campaign, while their host managed their first second-tier win on Saturday, including a 3-1 win over Bristol City, and Sheffield United, lost to Charlton, losing 6 straight league defeats. It cannot be 7. But Sheffield United did at least show signs of improvement of Wilder's return, all belted with their attacking threat, a cause for concern. Still yet to click after their playoff final defeat, but we have backed the Blades to get off the mark, but do not see them triumphing away at Oxford United outfit, but who are growing in confidence after their impressive victory. I'm going for Oxford to win another 3-1 win. Another 3-1. Right. So, right. Preston North End plays to Bristol City on Saturday afternoon, with both teams having the opportunity to strengthen their position in the top five of the Championship table. While both teams sitting on the same points, these clubs experience contrasting fortunes in their last outings. So, Preston defeated Derby away, and Bristol City lost to Oxford United 3-1. Although these clubs have made fast starts to the campaign, the momentum is very much with the home side taken into that consideration. We are predicting a win for the Paul Hectonbottom side as they bid to remain one of the surprise packages of the division. I'm going for Preston to continue their red-hot form by 2-1. Right, Sheffield Wednesday versus Queen Park Rangers. QPR will travel to Hillsborough on Saturday to take on Sheffield Wednesday in search of a fourth consecutive Championship victory. The visitors extended their run against Stoke City last weekend, with their hosts managed first victory of the season in their own last outing. Right, Sheffield Wednesday should take plenty of encouragement from last week's victory, but they're heavily limited squad, but will find it tough to build a run, especially against Queen Park Rangers side, who appear to have kicked into gear under their new manager. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So, right, Southampton. Southampton quite simply needs to find some fluency quite quickly as the Saints welcome to the current league leaders Middlesbrough down to the south coast this week. Southampton put in a reasonable performance in midweek, but they eventually scrambled to a late 2-1 loss to Liverpool in the third round of the EFL Cup at Anfield. But the Saints have started slowly in the second tier, with just one victory in their opening 6 matches in the Championship thus far. Simply not good enough for the Saints fans. Unless you are, Laura Turner, she is a Southampton fan. Middlesbrough, under the management of former Luton Town boss Rob Edwards, coming into this one on the back of a brilliant start to the season when they managed 5 wins and shared 1 draw in their opening 6 games. Borough most recently defeated West Bromwich Albion by 2-1 at the Riverside at the weekend. Southampton will be expecting them to get themselves on the front foot and use their performances from midweek as a confidence boost, but Middlesbrough should be able to control them and see them off with relatively ease based on their performance level. I'm going for Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 2. Okay, here we go. Right, 2 more and then we finish. Right, Stoke versus Norwich. Aiming to bounce back after unsuccessful trip last time out, Stoke City hosts Norwich City in the Championship at the Bet365 Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The Potters were defeated at the base of Queen Park Rangers last weekend, while the Canaries suffered a loss at the hands of Wrexham. Lost at Wrexham by 3-2. Despite their recent dip in form, Stoke are still a force to be reckoned with on home soil. Should be confident of earning positive result. Norwich are furious on their second tier travel so far this season. However, we see that record coming into an end at Bet365 Stadium, but I'm going for 1-1 draw. draw and all that. And all equal that. The last one. Watford versus Hull City. Aiming to bounce back to a consecutive defeats and move away from the bottom three in the Championship table, Watford will welcome to Hull City to Figgeridge Road on Saturday. The hosts fell short away at Millwall on Monday, while the visitors managed their second league victory over of the season last time out, when they beat Southampton by 3-1. Watford currently poses one of the Championship weakest attacks, but while the visitors have struggled at the back thus far, we anticipate an intriguing affair at Figgeridge Road, and with Hull City arriving more encouraging form, the hosts will have quality to hurt them, but we see the share all the points most likely, but I'm going for Hull to win 2-0. That's my predictions then for the Championship Week 7. Leave them in the comments below and we'll see you in the next one for the Premier League predictions later on. Bye!